I'm wearing this old headdress which, as you can see, has been eaten by civilization, by the moths in England. This is the old headdress that Chief Rowney of the Mebane Cockrie Indians gave to me and told me whenever I speak publicly to wear it. He also gave me a letter giving me permission to speak for the tribes of the Amazon. Now, Stephen Curry, who is the CEO of Survival International at Charterhouse in London, has asked me to make a request to all the people that I can, and in fact ask you also to contact the presidents of Brazil and Bolivia, that the Yanomami Indians, who are the last Indians to be contacted, well, not the last, but one of the last tribes, are being annihilated, extinguished by the measles epidemic, which was obviously taken in on purpose to destroy them by the gold miners who find the gold in the rivers. Many of the tribes of the Yanomami are still isolated and are dying in the jungles. They are dying alone without any help from a disease which they have no cure for. They have a cure that we need for most of the illnesses like malarias and maybe some of these latest diseases and viruses. They have the cures for thousands, if not millions of years. They have been curing themselves. But just like the ants or the insects that ate this beautiful kokai or feather headdress, they have also been and are being not eaten, but the same sort of thing, extinguished, annihilated by civilization who want to take over the world. They want power, they want gold, they want guns, and they're destroying the forests and everything that is natural. Even here in civilization, we are destroying the farmlands with insecticide and other things like that. You know, like things to kill weeds. They call them weeds, but they are wildflowers here in England, like dandelions. And nettles, which are the most advantageous plants for bees to survive. And without bees, we don't survive. Like this kokai has not survived so far. You can see in the photographs in the background, and I'll show you a close-up later, of this headdress when it was new and beautiful. I'd like you all, if you could please, to write to the President of Brazil and or to Survival International, to Stephen Curry. You can get the address off my Facebook, or Clive Howard Kelly, or off my website, which is www.cktbmm.com. You can also see my life story and all of the interviews that I've done around the world, and the people in photograph who have sailed with me, people like James Cameron, who wrote the Avatar film, and also Titanic and Waterworld with Stephen Costa. You can see Arnold Schwarzenegger, who also sailed with me in Cannes Film Festival when we were nominated for the Oscar for the last film that I made with Chief Rowney, which was called Rowney and Clive Kelly. Now, this film was suggested by the producers of the BBC, the World About Us series. They wanted to make a film in the Amazon, which I produced in 1972. And that film was a 90-minute documentary called Indians. We then went on to make a 35mm cinema production, Rowney and Clive Kelly. It is now known only as Rowney because I was cut out at a later date after we'd been nominated for the Oscar by nasty people who wanted to put other people in it, and that person that they put in my place was Marlon Brando, which is good. He's known as Black Elk by the Indian tribes, and he's done a lot of good work to protect the Amerindians. but I didn't give permission for them to cut me out. I'm not out all together, I'm in for a few minutes still, but I want you all to know that I'm back in England. I'm doing what I can to help Survival International and other groups that have set up to protect the American Indians, the Amazon Indians, because without the Amazon Indians, the loggers will move in and cut down all of the trees, which they still do on the edges. You know, there's only about a third of the Amazon's already been cut down. So we must stop this, because the Amazon makes the rain clouds, which we all need, and also contains many of the herbs that can cure us of all of these new diseases. And the knowledge of these new viruses and diseases is in the heads of the Amazon Indians, which include the Yanomami, which we are destroying by not helping them and by not stopping the gold miners that are sent in with the virus, measles. They want to destroy the Indians so they can get all of the uranium, gold, diamonds, and the latest one is imodium, which is a metal, which is much better than copper for conducting electricity, and very strong material for building war weapons. Now, please write to Stephen at Survival International, Charterhouse, London, EC1, I believe. But you can check the address by going to Google and tapping Survival International, London. I've given you my website, and I'd like you to be in touch with me. I'm going to take this headdress off now because it's beginning to itch. I think the insects that are eating it are eating me. And the marks that I have put on my face are made with the nut called urucum. You just take the nut from the coconut, the urucum nut, and you boil the seeds and to make this. Now, this is on my face because out of a request of Chief Rowney. It gives me the power to speak to you. Thanks for listening. I hope I've said everything I need to.